important topic what we are going to talk about today is how do we set the rules and the validations on our data we are collecting. So there are multiple things that we will have to know. So when we are collecting this data from customers, so that we can issue them this policy, like the form I've been talking about, that when you go to insurance company, you will have to fill out a form, right? So the same form we are filling out when we are saying that we are generating a quote for the customer. Basically, we are asking multiple questions to customer, and depending on the questions, we are asking, we are deciding the rate for them, like what premium they will be paying, and also depending on some data what they provide, the other fields might not be applicable or it might be applicable. Okay, so now let's search for the customer and I'll go back to the quote and show you like what I'm talking about. So the one we saw earlier was this applicability, that when you are creating a code, then there are some components which are applicable on some condition being true.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Now, let's talk about the other type of validations we have. Like when we are collecting, suppose the data from customer, and we are asking for their phone number, or suppose SSN number, right? Or email ID, correct? We need to validate that data, whether that data provided is correct or not. So in my email ID, I cannot just provide my phone number, right? That doesn't
Yeah.
looks good. In my phone number, I should not provide my email ID. So those type of validations we can do. And also uh, like we already saw that, how do we mark our fields mandatory or disabled, right? We have already seen that, and I'm going to show you another way to do it today. Through business rules we can do that. So remember this keyword, business rules. So today's session is going to be about business rules. How do we write business rules? What are these business rules? And how can these rules be triggered? Event based. Okay. Now I'm going to show you few rules in the first in the functionality, and then I'll show you how do we configure these rules. So let my code come up. Okay, it's slow in the background. I'm not sure if power is not there or what. My battery is going down, man. It's 20 minutes remaining. Uh, Let me see if power is not there, I guess. I've applied. Okay, let the code come up and let me check the power meanwhile.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I have attached the battery. Now I'll put it to the battery. Power is not there. Okay. So now, if you see, we have these fields marked as mandatory, required, and depending on suppose the value of this particular field, single or multi-life, there are other questions that will be applicable or not applicable. Okay, and when I'm putting my name, I should not be just putting random number, right? So there is no validation done on this particular field, right? You can see, but when I try to put email, let's see if there is any kind of validation. So if you see, this validation is happening on this rule. Now it is going and checking uh, whether this is a correct email in the first place, or on this data, is there any other data dependency we have. Okay, so there are a couple of things it is doing in the background once I enter the data. Similarly, if I do for this one, vijay@east28.com, and let's see if it takes the data or not. See, it says phone number entered is less or more than these things. Uh, so that is another thing that I am going to talk to you about. And these business rules, are like very critical for the business, in the sense, the data what we are what is going into the database from this UI, they want to make sure that this data is perfect. Otherwise our data will get corrupted in the database. So always we'll have to make sure that whatever data is entered by the customer or anyone who is using the system is valid. Okay. And if you see in this error message, entered email is not valid, and then it gives us something more information here. It talks about some rule. Let me just note this down, copy, and we will talk about these things, like how we have done it. Okay. And then we have another one similar to this one is this one. So uh, how we can do it? So on this particular field, now what field we are under it? We are under this is the component pfg case context dot foc email is our attribute. This we have seen, right, how we have our components and variable defined. This rule is written on uh, f pfg case context component, right? And then foc email is my attribute, like the actual field, correct? foc email is my attribute, case context is my uh, component. Okay. Similarly, for phone number, it's part of the same component, but if you see, the attribute name is different. This thing is clear, right? We have discussed it earlier, right? Many times. Now,
Yes.
inside a component, there could be multiple fields. Now, what we're talking about is on these attributes, we have rules written. So, one thing to notice here is that these rules are written on the attribute level, not at the component level, right? Because we are going to do the validation at the field level, not at the component level. Also, there is some kind of constraint you can put and validation you can put, but that component is nothing but a combination of one or more attributes. So this validation generally happens at the attribute level. Okay, now I have given two examples. Similarly, let me see if I can give you another thing that's in insured. I think if I, based on the country I select, then it should give me the state. So let me show you. I think that is more about component applicability, but here we are talking about at the rule, like not at the component level, but at the attribute level. So state of birth. So suppose now state of birth is available to me because country of birth provided is United States. But if I change it to suppose Taiwan, and let's see what happens. So now we are within the same component, like every field is part of the every attribute is part of this insured component, correct? Now we are playing within the component. Now we see on selection of this attribute, the next field is not available, correct? And
Yes.
now if I change it back to United States, uh, then my field will be available. Now let's quickly see what attribute it is, and we will also check out the rule written on that particular component. Now I just quickly inspect this to get uh, the attribute we are talking about. So it is state of birth code. So I'm thinking that on state of birth code, there will be a rule written, which will be checking that, if my uh, country code is US, only then you make this field available, or otherwise you make it hidden. Okay. So this is a kind of hidden rule that we have written. This is a kind of validation rule we have written. So there could be multiple types of rule, validation rules, and we can have a hidden rule. Okay. And there could be some assertion rules also. Then we will talk about it in future. Let's go now to admin, and then let's try to understand this. Let me open it in a new window. Void complaints. Okay, let's open new tab, and let me just first show you the rules, and then if needed we will enable the product. So I have noted down everything. I'll just have to load out because it's saying that product is being used by other
Yes.
customer. So there is some session already running. That's why it's complaining that it's already being used. So I'll have to log out and re-log in. Okay, let's go to admin, product, search. This is our product. I'll change the root to default policy root. Now, till now, what we have seen here is we have seen workspaces, we have seen components. Okay, and properties is very simple, like property of the product what we are working with. But these two will be working with more frequently, and then one thing we will be working more frequently is rules tab. Okay, now under rules, so we have already seen that this um, error message gave us the rule number, correct? So
Yeah.
one way to find out the existing rule is I just go to this particular tab, and here if I just search for this rule number, this plus put it here, press enter, or there is a search button option here. So once you search, it will show us that particular rule. Now what this rule is doing is validate email format. We can actually go ahead and open it. So to open it, you can have two views. Either you can have this view, or if you want to capture a bigger view, there is this option that you might have seen it on other applications also. Like you want to get into a bigger view, like in YouTube also now there is this makes the
Yeah.
screen bigger. So see something similar, just click on here, you'll see a bigger screen or basically popping out the message. So this is the rule name, and this is applied to this component, like what we have seen already, that we are applying it to this particular component. The next rule was applied to the other attribute. Okay, now what is the description? That we are validating emails format. Okay, and here we can enter the message we were seeing there, right? I was showing you that it is showing a error message to us. So this is the error message what we was displayed there. You can put any message here. Enter email is not valid. It should be in format email at domain.com. So I can put any error message what I want to in my system. Right, for this particular data is not provided or not valid, then what is the error message that I'm going to do? This is assertion expression I was talking to you. We'll come to this one. Yeah, but let me show you the other features of this rule, what you can do using this particular rule, and then we'll have more idea about it. Okay, so simply like what they are doing here is they are asserting something. What is an assertion? Guys, anyone can explain what is an assertion? Like generally you assert something in your application, correct? Anyone, Pankaj, you have might have written the JUnits also, right? In there also we test out assert true, assert false, right?
Yeah. Assets equals true or
Like
false.
a
Yeah.
statement of facto to believe, like the action does it something to add
Uh,
something or
uh, to add something, I'm not sure. Uh, Assertion is like at a given point of time in your project, you are asserting that at this point of time this should happen. Like when suppose you are generating a billing statement for your policy, at that
okay,
point your policy should be in active state, isn't it?
yeah,
So before doing any billing transaction, you if you have to do an assertion that this condition is true, that policy is in active state. So that becomes an assertion for me, like you are asserting something at any given point of time in your program. So when you are entering the email id in your system, at this point you are asserting that it should be in this format.
Like
okay,
Ha.
validate our result.
And Yes, validate our result.
Yeah.
That is in the context of JUnits, like when you are
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
writing JUnit. But in
Mm.
otherwise also, like in general terms, you are asserting something that at a given point of time in your program, you want to make sure that certain condition is true, and if that is not true, you should not go ahead.
Mm.
Okay, that
Mm.
is an assertion for you. Like when you are doing a billing transaction, your policy should be active. If it is not active, that is a breaking point for me. Like my system will, break. Like in the sense, it won't go ahead, because that is a condition. It must be true before I can go ahead and do a billing. Same thing for claim. Like on a given policy, I can only file for the claim if my policy is active. Correct. So that is
Yes.
an assertion point for me. Like, before doing some transaction in the system, like if you go to ATM, right? You withdraw the money. Suppose you are withdrawing 10,000 money, but your account only has 5,000 money. So you will get a failure message that is not possible. Because your bank is asserting that, you should have more than what you are trying to withdraw. Correct? That is an assertion in the system. If that assertion doesn't meet at any given point of time, your system will break. It won't proceed. Okay. So here they are using this assertion expression to validate. They are calling a method, and how they are calling it, I'm going to explain. They are calling this method format validate. What they are doing is they are providing the data entered in this field, which is our that field what we are talking about. That PFG case context is our component, and then FOC email is my attribute. Correct. So
Yes.
they are saying that whatever data is put into this particular field, and this method taking two particular format validate. Now this method wants to have two arguments. Like first is the data which needs to be verified, and for what it should be verified. Like it could be email, phone. Same method can accept email or phone also, right? It can serve multiple purpose. So there are two fields or the parameters I am passing to this method, and it's basically validating the format. Very simple thing. How it is written, I'm going to show you. But this is a very simple method. You should not get confused. If the given email is not according to the standard, it will uh, give that result. We are going to see what kind of result it's going to. It's going to be give true or false. With assertion, you are verifying that this assertion is true. This particular expression is true or not. Beyond, I can go. This point of code in my application. Like you are withdrawing money, your bank account should have more balance than what you are trying to withdraw. Correct. So your system will check whether your account has more than what you are trying to withdraw. If it is not, then assertion will fail, and then program will terminate. Correct. Same way, here you are trying to validate that your email is correct. If it is not, then it will fail. Okay. Now here you are seeing a warning here. Uh, should it be just a warning or it should be an error? So there are two type of things. The error message what we see, it could be a simple warning that we are giving a warning to the user that this particular data is not format correct. But even if you don't correct it, we will go ahead, no problem. But this is just a warning to you. And then there is certain type of data where you must have the correct data before you can go ahead. So that is an error. That is the difference between a warning and an error. Okay, and like in Power School project also we have seen that purpose, right? That
Yes.
what is the difference between warning and error? Error is a hard stop. You cannot go ahead. Warning is a soft stop. Like it's just giving a warning that you must check this. You can check this data. It might not be a valid data, but we will still go ahead and we'll let you go ahead. We won't stop you. But if it is an error, that means it's a hard stop. You cannot go ahead. Okay. Any questions on what is extension expression? And I'm going to show you like how it is done. Before I go ahead and do that, I want to show you the other features of a rule. Now this is business rule, but we have understood. Right? We are trying to write a business rule. What else we can achieve using this rule? So one thing is that we can do some assertion. The other thing is we can write some default value. Like for this particular field, I want to give a default value. So if no value is provided, or by default, what should be the value is that is to it dot com. This will be the default value. It's giving somewhere.
Actually, your voice is breaking.
Your voice is breaking, Vijay.
Okay. Not sure. Is it some better now?
No,
No, no, it's breaking.
Change my network then. Give me a second. I'm changing my network. Is it better, by the way?
No, Vijay, it's breaking completely.
Okay. And I must change the network. Hello. Is it better
hello.
Hello,
now?
Vijay.
Yeah, is it better now?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
Like you are
Actually,
able to understand, but it's breaking in between.
okay. Let me know if it is fine. Like I have moved to a different network now. Uh,
Okay.
okay. Is it okay? Like, can I go ahead and talk?
Yeah, now it's better.
Now it's okay.
Okay. So now what I was talking about is default value expression. So this is something like you want to specify some value as a default. You can do that in this default value expression. Basically, you are saying that your field will have some default value, and this field could be used to set the default value. You might have remember that when we were talking about attributes, there was a field or an option there to set the default value of the attribute, right? So you can use that also. You can use this default value expression also. You remember under component when we saw a particular field, we had the option to provide the default value of the field, correct?
Yes, yes.
Similarly, we also had the disabled and required options, correct?
Yes,
Now, you can use that feature, or you can also have this business rule which can disable your field, or you can set it as required also, right? And one more thing is that you can make this rule execute on a certain condition, that my policy dot policy type is equal to di, only then you do it, right? So this could be a, condition for my rule to start. So otherwise my rule will not execute. This will only execute when this condition is true. Okay. Very, very simple thing. Like, they have simplified things. EIS, instead of writing into complex things to define your rules, they've simply given us an option that, on a particular component and particular field, you can go ahead and write a rule. And this rule gives us lot of features that we can utilize. Using this field, you can mark the field hidden, you can mark the field as disabled, you can mark the field as required. Now you can set the default value of the field, and then you can also set an assertion expression for this particular field. Like, this expression should be true. uh, okay, is this clear, guys? Like, all these features are very important for you to understand. Various ways for you to understand that, how to play with your field. Like a given field, you can make it hidden, you can make it disabled, you can make it disabled, required. depending on a condition, you can, if you want to do it, you can do so. You can write the condition, right? You can set the default value if you want for your particular field. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Any questions, any confusion? Very, very simple thing, right? Not very complicated. Just simply write a rule, and I actually am trying to show you the existing field, but the same thing will hold true for the existing or the new rule. So to write a rule, you just come here and you select your add new rule here, this option. Okay, click on here, and then you will have to, first thing is that on which particular field you want to show this particular no, you want to write this particular rule. So suppose which field, let's take for an example. Mm, okay, let's do this thing. Apply it to policy, or actually you can set it from here. Uh, so if you don't want to type, you can just go ahead here and search your policy type. Now for policy type, I want to make some rule. What type of rule we might make? Let's see. Actually, there might be already existing lot of rules on policy type. Uh, do you guys remember any field where we can write which is not a mandatory field? Do you guys know? On the policy tab, there are so many fields. Any field do you remember which is not mandatory?
In policy tab,
Policy tab. If
in
you can.
policy tab, no Vijay. Only things is discount. That is the only not mandatory fees.
Okay, which discount?
Uh, all the discounts are not. It's a normal thing. There is no mandatory things in discounts.
Okay, but for included, let's see. Included, I will take this as an example. Make field mandatory. RMS's field is mandatory, and then simply what I have to do is I'll have to make this field as required. Okay. And my field will be mandatory. One more thing you will have to do is you will have to specify on which events and actions. Actually, I have not spoken about events and actions till now. But here we will need to specify, which event we want to make sure this particular thing happen. So right now I'll select data gather here, and just on the data gather I want my rule to execute. Let's see if there is a data gather option here also. So people will say get company tab, enter code rate, code save. Okay, just on data gather I want to make sure that this rule executes, and it makes my field mandatory, and I'll make it disabled also. Okay, so two things. It's not disabled, right, in the UI, or is it already disabled? Can you quickly check this MLD discount on the UI? Okay, but actually I just giving you examples. You guys try it out. Okay, you see on the policy tab which are the fields which are not marked as required, and now you try to write the rules for that particular field. You select it here, provide some data here, mark this field as disabled or required. You to play around with this system. Here you just have to remember that under action you have to specify data gather. Let me see if this rule works out. uh, and actually I want to show you this thing also, right? Assertion expression, how they had written assertion expression. And let me talk a little more about this one also. So state of birth code, let me show you this rule also before we go out of the screen. State of birth code, there is no rule written, so they have used some other way to make it hidden. State of birth, okay, this is the rule name. Actually I'm checking, it has to be the attribute. state of birth code. Okay, so this is the rule. The field is displayed only if country. See this one. This rule. Okay, state of birth code. The field is displayed only if the country of birth code is US. Now, very simple thing. They make it hidden, and the condition is that country of birth code is not equal to US. Very simple rule. And here they have selected actions and event. I think data gather should suffice, but they want to do it on more places. So they have written like, on this event also, this action also, this should happen. I'm going to talk about events and action in some other section. But here we are just talking about from the rules perspective. It's very, very simple rule, right? Just to make a field hidden, we are saying you're gonna, depending on this condition, mark my field hidden. Okay, instead of hidden, I want to make it disabled. I can do that also. So let me save this rule also, and let's see what happens. So I've changed two rules, and let's see. Oh, I have not say unlocked my product. So no problem. You guys try it out. Okay, so watch this video. I am going to send you this. Try it out on your side. One more thing before actually I drop. One more thing I wanted to tell you about the other rules. What we were seeing it, that you can write some external conditions for your rule. And let me talk about this rule. Edition email. We missed this. So if you remember, we saw that we're calling an external method here. So how does this happens? So this is our application context. Now actually I can talk about this particular thing, like how it happens. Karthik, you have seen this particular call multiple times, right?
Yes.
How it happens, this is my application context. Now my application context, if you remember from earlier sessions, it remembers all my spring beans. So when you are starting your application, all your spring beans are made aware to the application context. So application context knows about all the spring beans. Now if I can define a service there, and I can let it be there, and I can write utilize that service to do some validations. I can actually write this method also in that service and utilize it for my purpose. Now I'm going to show you like how this service is developed. So suppose if I go to my database, I have to find it in the beans, and this property name, rule service util, property name, application. Let's see where it is defined. Property name, property name. This is where they are passing it, but I want to see the definition. I'll just say this. The name ID equals this one. Bean ID is equal to this one. So this is where I'm defining my spring bean, right? Once I'm defining this spring bean, and I am attaching this class here, PFG rule service util, and I'm passing it multiple properties here, because in this service I will be doing a lot of things. So I'm providing it DAO, everything I'm providing it, all the properties I'm providing it to this service. Now this service could do multiple things for me. Okay, and I'm going to show you this Java class also. Now you know how spring bean works, right? So you provide this spring bean and you inject few properties or the already existing components to that spring bean. Now your application context is aware of those service. Now this is why you are able to do like application context dot pfg rule service util, because this is a bean we have written. Okay. And now we will talk about this third thing, which is a method in this service or the bean. Okay, now let me show you this class. Okay, now this is a simple class. Okay, and it is implementing application context aware. That is why it is no, my application context is aware of this particular service. Now in this I will have to find this method format validate. Okay, so this is the method. So in that method, what I'm checking is that this if it is phone, right? If this contact flag could be email or phone. If it is phone, I will have to do this particular validation for phone. If it is email, I'll have to just check this regex. And if this is valid, I just return whatever I find from this as true or false. The return type of this method is Boolean. Very simple thing, right? They're just doing the validation. But they are we are able to call. Important thing to note about here is that we are also able to call external methods from our business rule. Okay, and we can pass the current uh, fields data, and basically I can even pass my entire policy object here. Policy is also available to me. Okay, and if you see here, some of the methods will also be having policy entity being passed to those. Uh, so here, if you see resolve is, we are passing the policy itself. And now if you have the policy object here, basically what we are talking about here is the entire root entity. We're talking about, see, everything is connected to the policy. So my policy object is available to me. The entire data, what we are doing in the data gather is available to me. Correct? Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Confusion? Okay. So this is very, very useful. Like if I can pass my policy object to a, some method, then I can do whatever basically I want to do in Java at the with my rule. So my rules becomes immense power, has immense power to do anything basically, because it has the knowledge of policy. And once I get the knowledge of policy, right, I can get any data from that policy. So suppose here they are doing parties, right? And there might be other rules also here, which are, say here I'm getting the directly policy, and I can get anything basically from that policy and do anything what I want to. So it becomes really powerful that in the business rules I can call an external service which is written in Java, and to that Java method I can pass my entire policy object to play with. So basically, if you want to do anything with the rule, you can do that because you have the entire knowledge of entire policy object with you. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Any confusions or any questions till now? I want you guys to try this out. Pankaj, I want you to write another method here in this service util. Okay, and call that method. It could be anything simple like it returning true or false depending on your name, maybe. You pass it a data, maybe email data only. In that email you pass your name or something you do with that. Okay, you can
Okay.
select any field you want to play around with. I am giving you example of FOC email, but you see.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
No, no. Actually, your voice is not clear.
We didn't hear you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is I just try to create that method.
Uh,
Okay. And basically do something in that method. Okay. Anything like, your name is Pankaj. Based on that, you provide true or false from your method, right?
okay.
And try to put it in here like this. So I will give you the this data, what I have here, so that you can play around with. Yes, learners data to play with. You can utilize any of these fields, right? Try to write some rules on top of it. But try to write some mandatory rule, some disabled rule, some a hidden rule. You try to hide based on some condition. Okay, and do remember to select in the actions. You do remember to select data gather. Otherwise, your rule will not work. Okay, and then the third thing you have to do is you will have to try to write another method in your service instead of format validate. Try to call that method and pass some data to it. You can even pass policy object to it. Okay,
Okay.
and you will have a lot of references in the service class. This is the one, pfg rule service util.java. Yeah, I can give you the name of this service also, but it's easy for you to find out. I think you just give the name. uh, okay guys, any questions before we wrap up today's session? You can do this, right? You can write
Yes.
multiple rules. Try it on weekend. Okay, you get some time, and on Monday let's go ahead, because there is only 1 week left, Pankaj, for us, so we'll have to
Okay.
expedite things little bit. These rules is very very important.
Okay.
Okay, basically many of the things we will be doing it in rules, because if you can call an external service, Java service, from a rule, you pretty much can do everything what you want to do in the project, right?
Mm.
Using that Java.
Yeah.
No?
Mm.
So try it out. It's very very important topic, and most of the times you will be writing these rules. Okay.
Okay.
With that, I'll stop presenting and stop recording also. Uday, Karthik.